2 years ago, Megyn Kelly gave an interview where she said something really fascinating about her journalism career that is indicative of modern reporting as a whole, and it's something I don't think we as journalists really like to acknowledge in the industry. So I want to share this interview clip with you that kind of went under the radar and talk about it, particularly as it's Megyn Kelly, who is an individual that is so easy to imagine with the dimensions of a sheet of printer paper. But I like Megyn Kelly. Happy to defend her. I make no bones about it, and I am undoubtedly, indubitably, as the British would say, a liberal individual. I don't care. To quote the poet Raka Flocka, real recognizes real. Let's watch the interview.
Professionally, I really felt like there was no more growth for me at Fox News. That I had done all the things I wanted to do there.
I would press you on, I think a lot of people would say that right now is the most important time in the history of American politics. And you were seen as a leader. You have this great following on Fox. You have the base's ear watching your show. Why take yourself out of politics right now? Don't you think the world needs more of that hard-hitting journalism?
This is an excellent question because it's something so many of us as journalists, particularly in New York City and DC, believe that now is a more important time than ever to be in journalism or reporting politics and the news because of our current political landscape. And Megyn Kelly's answer is fascinating.
I'm all for hard-hitting journalism. However, I do feel that in the era of Trump, you might as well go stand on the edge of the Pacific and scream at the top of your lungs all day, every day.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can tell you, truly, I anchored on the Fox News channel at 9 p.m., one of, if not the most powerful time slot there, for a full year, and I covered every controversy of his earnestly and in a tough manner. From the Gold Star family, Judge Curiel, women, you name it, right?
That's true. She one time was on air after Donald Trump had given a rally, and Sean Hannity was in the press crowd trying to interview Donald Trump, actually there on the ground. And Megyn Kelly was so frustrated with Sean Hannity that he's like, when will Donald Trump stop speaking to Sean Hannity and actually let a real journalist ask him some questions? So she was happy to throw colleagues even a little bit to the fence in order to do her job. And I'm happy to recognize that. I think more people should credit Megyn Kelly with being or upholding some serious journalistic ethics at Fox News at the time.
I was the first to call out his misogyny publicly. Did it do any good? Were hearts and minds changed? Was there an available audience to me at the Fox News channel of Republicans and independents and Democrats who are open-minded, who were there for persuading? You tell me. It's not to say that there's no value in political journalism. I do believe that journalists are the first draft historians, and there's value in that. But if you are covering politics to try to persuade people, which is what I think people wanted me to do, you're wasting your time. The Trump voters are...
So many journalists are in the business to persuade, particularly political journalism. They may not want to admit it, and my friends, even my close friends, may not want to admit it, but they are certainly in the business to persuade their readers and their individuals of a perspective or point of view. It's undeniably true.
Which is what I think people wanted me to do. You're wasting your time. The Trump voters are dug in on Trump. The Trump haters are dug in on Trump. There's so much that goes into their very strong views on him. And frankly, I thought to myself, I could also get into a bath every morning of carcinogens and just roll around in it all day, but that's not good for me either. My whole feeling, it's not just Trump, my feeling on the Beltway, on political news is...
Beltway is colloquial for Washington, D.C., the freeway beltway around Washington, D.C., in case you're not familiar with that euphemism.
The folks inside the Beltway are dead to us. We have to forge on without them. The leaders, to me, 9 times out of 10, are feckless and spineless and often controlled by big money interests, and don't seem to have any real appetite anymore for getting things done or reaching across the aisle or reaching compromises that work for the American people. We have to do an end around. And I would love to be part of raising powerful boys and girls. sending messages out into the world and our country that are more positive and inspirational and aspirational, and celebrating people who have had challenges in their own lives and showing people a way to deal with them. That, I think, has value. That is not screaming into the Pacific. So I admire those who do it. Don't get me wrong. It's hard. It's harder than it's ever been to be in political journalism. I tip my hat to my colleagues who do it, and I know them all. But I can see on most of them the wear and tear, how hard it is, and how not rewarding right now.
So it sounds like, screaming into the Pacific, it almost felt like a helpless situation no matter what you said.
Oh, I would never use that word about me or my life.
Right, well, fair.
So that interview was given back in 2017 when she had just joined NBC to give that kind of soft social news morning show that she was running. She, of course, as we all know, would later get fired, not more than a year into her 3-year contract for saying controversial things that NBC deemed inappropriate, or just nobody was watching. Nonetheless, I don't think that detracts any from the statement she says in this interview, which I find to resonate so true to the industry at large. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. If you think what Megyn Kelly is saying is accurate, do you disagree with Megyn Kelly? Do you agree with Megyn Kelly? Are you surprised that Megyn Kelly said these kinds of things? She, like many other anchors and journalists, are portrayed often through the lens of their employer. That's a good way to put it. Also, if you made it this far, maybe consider subscribing. If you find the things I present you, whether it be videos or ideas, interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.